Y'all ready? Let's roll. Time to hit a dirt road, time to clear my mind, time to take a little break from the daily grind. Gotta get outside where the air is clean, gotta feed my soul, if you know what I mean. We love God and country, and we serve them both. A good book and a gun to each brigade we know. Southern red, white, and blue, yeah, that's the way we bleed. Mold on the beat, don't tread on me. Take from the land what Mother Nature gives. Guns, bows, and rods is the life we live. In the water or the woods, that's the way we roll. Grab your camo and your boots, 'cause it's time to go. Wildlife Commando.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Wildlife Commando. Today we're here at SAS Defense Arms up in Cornelia, Georgia, and we're going to be working with the owner and going over his firearms, and hopefully we get to sling some rounds today. So let's go ahead and head on inside. Alright, hey everyone, like I said, we're here at SAS Defense with the founder, Mr. Lawrence Bridges. And we're just going to talk to him today about his rifles, and thank you again for having us in here.
Appreciate y'all stopping by.
So how long have you guys been in the business?
Doing this about 5 years.
5 years? Yeah. And do you make all of the parts yourself, or?
Yes, we do. Don't make all the parts ourselves. The machining stuff we've selected particular machine shops that do it to our specifications. So when somebody comes up and says, do you have a mil-spec gun? I proudly say, no, I got something better. We got tighter tolerances.
Okay.
But from things like that, we work with outside vendors to get our parts and pieces.
Awesome. So then it's safe to say that this is definitely a higher quality firearm than something that's just, mass produced, pushed out of a factory.
Much higher quality. Truly, all those terms you use of top shelf, tier 1.
Yeah.
We try to select those companies that supply those parts and pieces. Yeah, mass production is exactly that, mass production.
Right.
And the quality assurance and the levels of quality that you get are great, but they're still mass production.
Okay, definitely. And so you assemble everything yourself?
Everything's done right here in our shops.
Okay.
We do one gun at a time.
Yeah.
So it's truly from a start to finish. We hand fit all the parts and pieces. If one part doesn't go together and work properly with another part, it's removed and another one is selected.
Awesome. Now, can others bring their rifles that they didn't purchase here and bring them in to get work?
Oh, absolutely. There's all the other mass manufacturers out there, because they are truly mil-spec guns. That specification fits one another, so parts are truly interchangeable.
Right.
So we do have a lot of customers who come in with, let's say, a Colt, and say, hey, I want to make some upgrades to it. So sure, and then we'll kind of map out what they want to do and what budget do you want to stick in.
Yeah. And
then we just go from there and add the parts to it to get it the way they want it.
Right. And about what's the general price range, I guess, for the rifles that you make?
The rifles that I make, we start off at $9.95 at our entry level. Still, all the working parts are the same highest quality that you're going to get in our top of the line tier 1. But you're not getting all the bells and whistles. So we have increments of $9.95, $12.95, $14.95, and then we jump to $19.95 for the full Monty, I guess you'd call it.
Okay, awesome. And now, what all calibers do you make?
Predominantly it's 5.56, 223. We also do 6.5 Grendel for some of the long range guys. For some of our harder hitting hunters, we use a 6.8 SPC, and then also the very popular new 300 Blackout.
So someone that does primarily hunting, they can come to you and get a rifle, basically?
Sure do. We're working with a couple of companies in South Georgia now that do hog eradication. We put together packages of weapons for them without any optics or sights, because then they come in and mount a thermal optic.
Okay.
But 5.56 is very detrimental to a hog.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, so what got you started in this? What made you want to start making your own firearms?
I have a background in aerospace, and it was just the machining part of a lot of it. Some of my other friends had interest in the firearms world, and they kind of turned me on to it. And especially when it started, when our president was elected the first time, when that craze started for the AR-15,
Yeah.
that really got things kicked off. And I had bought a few weapons, made some changes to them, and turned around and resold those over a period of time, and saw that, wow, this is a really booming business. And
Yeah.
it truly was back then. It was just skyrocketing, almost out of control.
I believe it. Now, this is one that you wanted to show off?
This is one of my Tier 1 rifles. It's my most popular weapon. And when I say it's my most popular weapon, it's because it's my lightest weapon. It's well under 6 pounds. It's a 14.5-inch barreled weapon. We pin and weld a phantom flash hider on to get our legal 16 inches, a little over 16, like 16.25.
Okay.
But because of the lightweight profile barrel, most of the weight is being shifted back to the back of the weapon, which your body's going to support.
Right.
So you get an overall feeling of a lighter weapon without lightening the whole total weight of the weapon up. So it's very well balanced, very easy to handle and shoot.
I was going to say, I'm sure it's a lot more balanced than...
And we get, parents that come in and say, hey, I want to start my family in with something. What do you recommend? And this is the one that we pick out because it is the lightest, easiest balance. We try to stick around, physically can a youngster hold it? A 12-year-old and above can because of the weight of the weapon. They can easily wield that. But within that, we use all our barrels are cold hammer forged. We get those from Daniel Defense just down here in Savannah, Georgia. They have one of the few cold hammer forged cells in the United States. But it's really easy to get those up here. It's a really great high quality barrel. We use free floated handguards from Troy Industries, Troy battle sights, the folding battle sights. Gunfighter charging handle, this is a mod for the medium size. For comfort and usability, we're using the Veltor iMod buttstock.
Yeah.
You get a really nice wide cheek weld
yeah.
and then a nice butt pad also. A lot of comfort there, and also storage in here for your batteries if you were going to run some type of an optic. Very popular, the single point slings. So this is a single point sling mount also from Troy, which is quick disconnect. It will run left, right, or in the center, so the weapon can hold right here.
Yeah.
And it's easily to carry and pick up. Predominantly we use Ergo brand grips. Everybody's hands are a little bit different, so if a different grip fits you better, we'll swap that out for the customer with no problem whatsoever.
Okay.
Our receiver sets, like I was saying earlier, we chose a machine shop that manufactures our specifications, so you don't get that wobble between the upper and the lower
Yeah.
you get in a mil-spec gun. So we really tighten that up. So I hand fit each one of the receivers, the lowers to the upper.
Oh, wow.
It takes me several hours to get that done, but you really get a really nice product out of that.
Yeah.
We hand polish our hammers and triggers. There's still a mil-spec geometry, still mil-spec 7-pound springs. We just smooth everything up so you get a really nice smooth pull to go with the weapon.
Okay.
We use a full auto carrier instead of semi-auto. There's a little bit more moving mass there, so when you do get that cycle going, that heavier mass slows it down, so you can get better positive feeds up out of the magazine.
Awesome.
Slower cycle rates are a lot better. And also we selected a company that manufactures the bolt and the bolt carrier out of 158 Carpenter steel. Higher quality steel than what you see in some of the mass-produced weapons.
Yeah.
We went a little bit further into that. We've added an extractor spring upgrade kit to the bolt. So you get all those positive extractions out of your ejection port. We try to put in all the little things that you would want to add to a weapon that you don't have to. We've already done it for you. So when you go out and their shooting experience is very positive and you're just having a great time. But we feel if you're having a good time with a weapon, you're getting your money's worth out of it.
Absolutely.
Something you don't enjoy shooting, you wasted your money on.
Absolutely.
But that's kind of the overall of what we do with our particular weapons. Of course, I kind of say, kind of like Burger King, you can have it your way. Even though you might choose one of these, you might want to choose a different color, a different grip.
Mm-hmm.
We make any kind of changes because we are a custom gun
Okay.
maker.
And now what are some of the color options that you have?
Predominantly black has always been the most popular.
Yeah.
Through the years, we found that the next step is OD green.
Yeah.
Somebody steps over to that. And then the other popular, because we've done a lot of weapons that have gone into the Middle East and areas, Tan's the next popular color out there.
Yeah.
We also do Cerakote in-house.
Okay.
So we've done several weapons that are truly all tan. The receiver sets we bead blasted and Cerakoted in the flat dark earth to match the handguards, the sights, the grips, and everything.
Okay.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Yeah, well, I can definitely tell just talking to you, you're passionate about your dedication to, making supreme quality firearms. And I definitely think that's one of the great qualities, about SAS Defense. One of the reasons we wanted to come up here and talk to you. You can just tell, anybody that comes through here, this isn't a gun store where it's like, well, hurry up and pick what you want. You really go into absolutely every detail and make sure that the customer's taken care of.
You're exactly right, because when someone comes into the shop or I meet them at a gun show, I like to talk with you about what it is that you want out of a weapon. Where have you been, kind of a little bit of your history. Are you a first-time buyer? Are you a little bit of a novice at it? Or are you an expert at it? So we can get into the things that you would want out of the weapon.
Yeah.
Also, primarily, what I'm most concerned about is someone's budget.
Right.
Yes, you may have $2,000 to spend, but you want to spend it all on the gun,
Yeah.
or you want a gun and then some ammo and then an optic. So I work with all of that too.
Okay.
Because I feel that I don't want to see you just one time and then you're gone.
Right.
I want you to keep coming back, so
Yeah.
I can build that customer relationship with you.
That's awesome. That's a quality that a lot of businesses are losing nowadays. A lot of things are becoming impersonal, and so when you come across another business that does that, it's just another great thing. Where can people find your information?
We're at, on the web, of course, we've got our website. It's www.sas-defense.com. Got to put the dash in between SAS and Defense.
Yep.
Also on Facebook, we put a lot of information out on Facebook of gun shows that we're going to be at, what we're doing at the gun shows, classes that we're coming up that we teach about the weapons.
Okay.
Just things, interesting, like when we moved from our other location into this location, things like that. So Facebook's a really good place to keep up with our company.
Okay. All right. So go ahead. You want to tell us about some of the other variants that you guys make?
Sure, we go from long to short. This is one of our longer weapons that we put out. It's our designated marksman. It's an 18-inch barrel rifle. Again, it's a cold hammer forged barrel from Daniel Defense. Daniel calls it their strength to weight profile. And it starts out as a heavy barrel, but then it tapers on up as it gets up to the gas block, and then it continues out at a standard intermediate profile. So you get the qualities out of a heavy barrel, the accuracy, but without having the weight on that.
Okay.
And again, it's a chrome line barrel too, but full length 15-inch handguard that's on it to protect the barrel, get as much stabilization of the weapon as you can. We use the Magpul PSR buttstock, which is adjustable for length and cheek rise. We use a gunfighter charging handle or a Badger charging handle, depending on what the customer wants. Because when you got a scope here, it's really hard to get to the charging handle. You can just come from the side much easier. We've also found that this is the Ergo Tactical grip. It's a little bit straighter up and down than the normal angle you get on an AR-15. And it's a little bit fatter too, so it just fills your palm of your hand up, where you don't get as much finger into the trigger guard here. You're just getting that first digit comfortably on the blade of the trigger. Again, an aluminum enhanced trigger guard. This particular trigger in this weapon is a Geissele 2-stage, and this is in our ATAX camo. In our multi-cam gun, we're also running the 3-gun trigger from Geissele also. Gives a little bit different pull to it. It's a single stage, but it's just a different variant of that. Comes with a 20-round magazine. There's no real reason to run a 30 in it. It's just sticking down there if you want to pop off a bunch of rounds. But also we included in the package is the 30 millimeter scope mount from American Defense. It's all one piece. It's called their Delta scope, and it's a quick disconnect. So, each one of those comes with a scope mount with that. But these are some of the variants that we do. We have the ability to do that. Pick a camo color that you want. Georgia Hydrographics over in Comrie, Georgia, does our graphics on our weapons for us. So anything kind of crazy you want to pick out, you can put on a gun. But we go from a long one. Also, we do a short weapon too. This particular upper setup was kind of born out of a conversation I had with a customer who used to be with the Department of State, diplomatic protection guys.
Yeah.
He got a call one day. He also was a manufacturer. And the question was, how short can you make a full auto AR-15? And so he put the question to me, so we came up with this package as far as a demonstrator. We had ran it on a full auto lower. Does operate, but we don't keep full autos. But this was a 7-inch barrel, 7.5 that we do. So we do a lot of Class 3 stuff. We also we got some government things that we do for some certain people, I'll just say that. But again, you can dream it up, I can build it for you.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm sure, hopefully this video gets you a lot of people calling you up and wanting, something completely crazy. I'd like to see somebody challenge.
Challenge is a good thing, yes.
Yeah. Now, how much would one of these long gun variants run?
Depending on the different triggers, barrels, scope mount, everybody's a little bit different in things. Yeah. But you're in the $2,500 range and kind of moving on up from there, even possibly up into the $3,500 range. But we try not to get any kind of crazier with money. If you want to move into some stainless steel barrels or different things like that, you may be creeping on up to the higher dollar things.
Okay, definitely. All right. Well, yeah, these are SAS Defense. These guys, they make some awesome, high-quality weapons, and you can tell just by listening to the way that he talks about it, how passionate he is about the quality firearms and the dedication to service to his customers. This is definitely a company to keep your eye on and check out. And if you're in the market for an AR, please give Lawrence a call. Give him a challenge. I want somebody to call him with something crazy to build, and I want to see him do it. So that wraps up this part of Wildlife Commando. Thank you again, Lawrence, for having us. We
appreciate you guys coming by.
Now we're going to be showing Sarah's trip. She was out elk hunting this last week in northern Idaho. And, she took some video footage and some photos for us. She didn't get an elk, unfortunately, but she definitely heard him bugling. And she's going to be out there again this weekend. I'm sure she's crazy about it, and she's definitely one of our favorites. So thanks again, guys. Remember, hunt hard, hunt safe.
Just hiked in, probably about a mile off the main road, and I'm making my way down towards the bottom. And I was getting a little discouraged at first. I didn't see anything, but I just kind of got looking around. And if you take a look over here, we've got some nice tore up bedding spots. And the trail's been freshly used. So I'm gonna kind of keep going, see what we can find out, and hopefully find us some elk. Been kind of quiet. They are talking a little bit, but kind of just locator bugles. They're not totally hot and heavy, ready to come running in yet. But we're gonna see what we can find, and I'll keep you all posted. Thanks. long ways to go, but this is great North Idaho country. I'm going to kind of pan around and show you just how brushy and awesome it actually is. We were down at the bottom and it was a little timbered, but we pretty much have to go straight up now to that skyline. Trying to kind of pick through, find some game trails as best as we can. Maybe even see some elk on the way out, but there is a thunderstorm coming in, so I was going to boogie hunt down here tonight. Decided I think it's best to go back to the Tahoe. So what goes down must go back up. So here we go.